I. Research and program evaluation. Current trends in counseling research. Multi-authored studies. Multi-authored studies. An overview. Multi-authored studies refer to research projects or studies that involve more than one author or contributor. These collaborations can occur across various fields, including psychology, education, health, and social sciences. Working together with other researchers allows for a more comprehensive understanding of a topic and usually leads to more reliable results. Key concepts. 1. Definition of multi-authored studies. A multi-authored study is a research work produced by two or more individuals who collaborate to investigate a particular issue or topic. Each author typically contributes their expertise and insights. 2. Benefits of collaboration. Collaborative research often leads to better quality studies because multiple perspectives can provide a fuller understanding of complex issues. Diverse expertise can lead to more thorough and innovative approaches to research questions. 3. Interdisciplinary work. Many multi-authored studies involve researchers from different disciplines, combining their knowledge to address a problem that may require various viewpoints and methods. Important details. Roles of authors. In multi-authored studies, each author may have specific roles, such as leading the research design, analyzing data, or writing sections of the paper. Clear communication and organization are critical for a successful collaboration. Acknowledgement of contributions. In academic papers, the contributions of each author are usually acknowledged, with some studies listing the authors in order of their contribution. This recognition helps clarify each person's role in the research. Peer review process. Multi-authored studies typically undergo a peer review process, where other experts in the field review the study for quality and validity before it is published. This step ensures that the research meets academic standards. Examples to illustrate the topic. 1. Collaborative health research. A study that aims to investigate the effectiveness of a new mental health therapy might involve psychologists, social workers, and researchers from the medical field. Each author brings unique skills to the table, making the study stronger. For instance, the psychologist might design the therapy, the social worker could connect with clients, and the medical researcher might analyze the health data. 2. Educational research. A research paper exploring the impact of technology on student learning could be written by a teacher, an educational psychologist, and a technology expert. Together, they could produce a comprehensive study that examines not only the practical aspects of technology use in the classroom, but also the psychological effects on students. 3. Community health study. In a community health project focusing on obesity rates, a multi-authored study might include a nutritionist who studies dietary habits, an exercise physiologist who evaluates physical activity levels, and a public health expert who assesses the community's health policies. The collaboration would allow the authors to create a detailed analysis of the factors influencing obesity in that community. Conclusion. Multi-authored studies are essential for advancing knowledge and understanding complex issues across various fields. By bringing together experts with different perspectives and skills, these collaborations enhance the quality and reliability of research findings. Understanding the value of multi-authored studies helps students appreciate the importance of teamwork and diverse expertise in academic and professional contexts. These studies contribute to a more thorough exploration of topics, leading to better solutions and innovations in research and practice. Emphasis on multicultural issues. An overview. Emphasis on multicultural issues refers to the importance of recognizing and understanding the diverse cultural backgrounds, beliefs, and practices of individuals in various fields, especially in counseling, education, and social work. This emphasis is essential for creating inclusive environments and providing effective support to people from different cultural backgrounds. Key concepts. 1. Definition of multicultural issues. Multicultural issues arise from the differences in culture, ethnicity, race, religion, language, and social norms among people. These differences can impact how individuals view the world, interact with others, and respond to various situations. 2. Cultural competence. Cultural competence is the ability of professionals to understand, respect, and effectively work with people from diverse cultural backgrounds. This involves being aware of one's own biases and recognizing how cultural factors influence behavior and communication. 3. Importance of inclusivity. Emphasizing multicultural issues promotes inclusivity and equality. It aims to ensure that everyone feels valued and understood, regardless of their cultural background. This is crucial in providing effective support and fostering positive relationships. Important details. Understanding cultural differences. Different cultures have unique beliefs, practices, and communication styles. For example, some cultures may place a high value on family involvement in decision-making, while others may emphasize individual choices. Understanding these differences helps professionals better support their clients. Impact on mental health. Cultural background can influence how individuals experience mental health issues. For instance, some cultures may view mental health problems as a personal weakness, while others may see them as an illness that needs treatment. Professionals must be sensitive to these perspectives when discussing mental health with clients. Effective communication. Language barriers and differences in communication styles can lead to misunderstandings. Professionals should strive to use clear and respectful language, and they may need to employ interpreters or cultural liaisons when necessary to facilitate understanding. Examples to illustrate the topic. 1. Counseling context. A counselor working with a teenager from a Hispanic background may learn that the client's family plays a significant role in their decision-making process. Understanding this cultural value can lead the counselor to involve family members in sessions, fostering collaboration and support. 2. Educational setting. A teacher in a diverse classroom might notice that some students from different cultural backgrounds are reluctant to speak up during class discussions. By understanding that some cultures value group harmony over individual expression, the teacher can create alternative ways for these students to participate, such as through group projects or written reflections. 3. Healthcare context. A healthcare professional working with a patient from a different cultural background might discover that the patient prefers traditional healing methods over Western medicine. Recognizing this preference allows the healthcare provider to respect the patient's beliefs while also discussing the potential benefits and risks of recommended treatments. Conclusion. Emphasizing multicultural issues is essential for creating supportive environments that respect and honor the diverse backgrounds of individuals. By understanding cultural differences, fostering cultural competence, and promoting inclusivity, professionals can better meet the needs of their clients or students. This emphasis not only enhances communication and understanding, but also ensures that everyone feels valued and heard. As society becomes increasingly diverse, the ability to work effectively across cultures is more important than ever, especially in fields like counseling, education, and healthcare. Decreasing contributions from field professionals. Decreasing contributions from field professionals, an overview. Decreasing contributions from field professionals refers to the declining involvement or input from experienced practitioners, like educators, counselors, and social workers in various sectors such as education, mental health, and community services. This trend can impact the quality of services and the overall effectiveness of programs. Key concepts. 1. Definition of contributions. Contributions from field professionals include their knowledge, skills, time, and experiences shared in their respective fields. They provide insights, mentorship, and direct services that help improve outcomes for clients and students. 2. Causes of decreased contributions. Various factors can lead to a decline in participation from these professionals, including burnout. Many professionals face high levels of stress and emotional exhaustion, leading to decreased motivation to contribute. Administrative burdens. Increased paperwork and bureaucratic requirements can take time away from direct client or student interactions, causing professionals to feel overwhelmed. Lack of support. If professionals do not receive adequate support from their organizations, they might feel discouraged and less willing to contribute. 3. Impact on services. When field professionals decrease their contributions, the quality of services can suffer. This might lead to less effective instruction, poor mental health support, or inadequate community services, negatively affecting individuals who rely on these resources. Important details. Importance of engagement. Engaging field professionals is crucial because they bring valuable insights based on real-world experiences. Their contributions can help shape policies, improve practices, and ensure services meet the needs of clients or students effectively. Professional development. Continuous professional development opportunities, such as training and workshops, can help prevent burnout and keep professionals engaged. When they feel supported and valued, they are more likely to contribute positively. Collaboration. Encouraging collaboration among professionals can help combat feelings of isolation. Team meetings and interdisciplinary work can lead to sharing ideas and resources, strengthening contributions across the board. Examples to illustrate the topic. 1. Education setting. A school may experience declining teacher participation in extracurricular activities or mentorship programs. If teachers feel overwhelmed by administrative tasks and lack support, they may withdraw from these contributions, negatively affecting student engagement and support outside of regular classes. 2. Mental health services. A community mental health center might notice that experienced counselors are leaving or participating less in training new staff. If those counselors are facing burnout due to high caseloads and inadequate resources, their absence can limit the quality of care provided to clients seeking mental health support. 3. Social work context. In social work, professionals might stop engaging in policy advocacy if they feel their voices are not heard by management. When experienced social workers become disengaged from advocacy efforts, critical changes needed for improving community resources and support systems may go unaddressed. Conclusion. Decreasing contributions from field professionals can significantly impact the quality and effectiveness of services in various sectors. Understanding the reasons behind this trend, such as burnout, administrative burdens, and lack of support, can help organizations take actionable steps to re-engage professionals. By focusing on professional development, fostering collaboration, and creating a supportive work environment, organizations can encourage field professionals to remain active and positively contribute to their fields. This engagement not only benefits the professionals themselves, but also enhances the overall quality of services received by clients and students. Use of meta-studies to summarize findings. Use of meta-studies to summarize findings. An overview. Meta-studies, also known as meta-analyses, are research reviews that combine and analyze data from multiple studies on a similar topic. This method helps researchers understand overall trends and outcomes by summarizing findings from existing research rather than conducting new experiments. Using meta-studies can provide more reliable conclusions and insights based on a broader range of data. Key concepts. 1. Definition of meta-study. A meta-study is a study that synthesizes the results of various individual studies to draw broader conclusions. It uses statistical techniques to combine data, allowing researchers to see patterns and effects across different research efforts. 2. Purpose of meta-studies. The main purpose of meta-studies is to summarize and clarify findings across multiple studies. Researchers often use meta-analyses to identify common trends, determine the overall effectiveness of a specific intervention or treatment, address inconsistencies in research findings from different studies. 3. Importance of sample size. One of the key advantages of meta-studies is that they typically analyze larger sample sizes because they include data from many studies. This can lead to more robust conclusions than a single study might provide. Important details. Steps in conducting a meta-study. Identify relevant studies. Researchers start by defining a specific research question and then searching for studies that relate to that question. Evaluate quality. The studies included in the meta-analysis are assessed for quality to ensure that the data is reliable. Data extraction. Researchers gather relevant data from each study, such as means, standard deviations, and sample sizes. Statistical analysis. Advanced statistical methods combine the findings, allowing researchers to calculate overall effects and determine if the results are statistically significant. Caution with bias. Researchers must be cautious of biases that can affect the outcome of the meta-analysis. For instance, if only studies with positive results are published, the meta-study might present an inaccurate picture of the overall effects. Applications of meta-studies. Meta-studies are commonly used in fields like medicine, psychology, and education to evaluate treatments, interventions, or educational methods. They help policymakers and practitioners make evidence-based decisions. Examples to illustrate the topic. 1. Medical research. A meta-analysis might combine results from various studies on the effectiveness of a new medication for treating depression. By examining data from multiple clinical trials, researchers can provide a clearer picture of the medication's overall effectiveness, side effects, and how it compares to other treatments. 2. Education. Researchers may conduct a meta-study to summarize the findings from different studies on the effectiveness of online learning compared to traditional classroom learning. This meta-analysis could highlight trends in student performance, engagement, and satisfaction across various educational settings. 3. Psychology. A psychologist might perform a meta-analysis on studies examining cognitive behavioral therapy for anxiety disorders. The meta-study could aggregate results to demonstrate that CBT is effective for a wide range of anxiety issues, helping therapists understand its overall impact. Conclusion. The use of meta-studies to summarize findings is a powerful tool in research, providing a broader understanding of a topic by combining results from multiple studies. By offering insights into overall trends, effectiveness, and inconsistencies, meta-analyses contribute significantly to various fields, including medicine, education, and psychology. Understanding how to conduct and interpret meta-studies is essential for researchers and professionals who aim to make informed decisions based on comprehensive evidence. Cohen's d effect size statistics. Absolutely. Let's break down Cohen's d and effect size statistics in a way that's easy to understand. Effect size is a way to quantify how big the difference or effect is between two groups in a study. It helps researchers understand not just if a difference exists, but how meaningful that difference is. One common measure of effect size is Cohen's d. What is Cohen's d? Cohen's d measures the strength of the difference between two groups. It's calculated by taking the difference between the means of two groups and dividing that by the standard deviation. The formula looks like this. D égale M1, M2, SDD égale fract égale SDM, IM2. Where M1 equals mean of group 1M, 2M, 2M2 equals mean of group 2, SD equals standard deviation of the two groups combined. Key concepts. 1. Means and standard deviations. Mean, the average score of a group. Standard deviation, a measure of how much the scores in a group vary. A low standard deviation means that the scores are close to the mean, while a high standard deviation indicates a wider spread of scores. 2. Interpreting Cohen's d values. Cohen proposed general guidelines for evaluating the magnitude of the effect size. Small effect. This indicates a small difference between groups. It means that the groups do not differ much, but there is still a statistically significant difference. For example, if two teaching methods are almost equally effective, but one has a slightly better score, this might yield a small effect size. Medium effect. This suggests a moderate difference that is noticeable in practice. It might mean that one teaching method is clearly better than another. Large effect. This indicates a strong difference. An example would be if one study method results in significantly better performance compared to traditional lectures. Why is Cohen's d important? Understanding Cohen's d can help you. Evaluate research. It allows you to assess how significant differences between groups are, not just if they exist, but how meaningful they are. Make informed decisions. In fields like psychology, education, and medicine, knowing the size of an effect can help when deciding which interventions to adopt. Example of Cohen's d. Let's say two groups of students are compared on their exam scores after different teaching methods. Group A, average score of 75, standard deviation of 10. Group B, average score of 85, standard deviation of 10. 1. Calculate the difference in means. 8,575 is equal to 1,085. 75 equals 108,575 is equal to 10. 2. Combine the standard deviations. 3. Não calculate Cohen's d. d égale 1010 égale 1.0 d égale frac égale 1.0 d égale 1010 égale 1.0. This d equals 1.0 d equals 1.0 d equals 1.0 would suggest a large effect size, indicating that the interactive teaching method significantly outperformed the traditional method. Conclusion. Cohen's d is a useful statistic for understanding the practical significance of differences found in research. By looking at effect sizes, you can better appreciate the impact of various interventions and make more informed decisions based on the evidence. Remember, small, medium, and large effect sizes provide a helpful framework to interpret the strength of differences between groups. Study subjects. Sure, let's take a closer look at the topic of study subjects, especially when it comes to research involving graduate students and adults. This will help clarify who these subjects are, why they are studied, and some important concepts you'll need to understand. Defining study subjects. Study subjects refer to the individuals who participate in research or experiments. In the context of your topic, we're focusing on graduate students and adults in general. These groups are chosen for studies to understand various aspects of behavior, learning, psychology, health, and other areas. Who are graduate students? Graduate students are individuals who have already completed their undergraduate degrees and are pursuing further education. They may be working towards master's degrees or doctoral degrees. Characteristics. Typically, they are more advanced in their academic careers. They often have specialized knowledge in a specific field, meaning they can provide insights into more complex topics. Graduate students may also work or conduct research as part of their programs, which can influence their perspectives. Who are adults in research? Adults in research refer to individuals above a certain age, usually 18 years and older. This category can include a wide range of ages and backgrounds, such as young adults, older adults. Characteristics. Adults can have diverse life experiences, responsibilities, and challenges that influence their behavior and responses. They may be engaged in various life stages, such as education, work, family responsibilities, or retirement. Why study graduate students and adults? Researchers may choose to study graduate students and adults for several reasons. 1. Relevance. Graduate students are often involved in professions that require higher education, which makes their insights valuable in understanding education and professional development. 2. Life experience. Adults bring a wealth of life experience that can impact their behavior, decision-making, and learning processes. Understanding these experiences helps. Researchers gather more comprehensive data. 3. Behavioral insights. Researchers might want to study how adults of different ages respond to certain situations, such as stress, learning new skills, or adapting to technology. 4. Psychological and social factors. Studies can help understand challenges like work-life balance, mental health, and social dynamics in different adult age groups. Key concepts in research with graduate students and adults. 1. Demographics. This term refers to the statistical characteristics of a population, such as age, gender, education level, and socioeconomic status. Understanding demographics helps researchers know who they are studying and how to interpret the results. 2. Informed consent. This is an ethical practice in research where participants are fully informed about the study's purpose, methods, risks, and benefits before agreeing to participate. It ensures that adults understand what is expected of them. 3. Sampling. Researchers must carefully select a group of graduate students or adults to study. This can involve random sampling or purposive sampling. 4. Data collection methods. Common methods include surveys, interviews, observations, or experiments. Each method has its strengths and weaknesses, and researchers choose based on what they're studying. Example of research involving graduate students and adults. Imagine a study aimed at understanding stress levels in graduate students compared to working adults. The researchers might 1. Sample. Recruit a group of graduate students from university and a group of working adults from various industries. 2. Data collection. Use surveys to ask about their stress levels, coping strategies, and support systems. 3. Analyze. Compare the results to see if there are significant differences in stress levels between the two groups. 4. Interpret findings. This could help universities develop support systems for graduate students and provide insights into workplace wellness programs for adults. Conclusion. Studying graduate students and adults provides valuable insights into human behavior, learning, and coping strategies. Researchers choose these subjects to understand how different experiences and backgrounds influence feelings, thoughts, and actions. By doing so, they can develop better educational programs, workplace strategies, and psychological support systems that benefit these groups. Understanding these concepts can help you succeed in your CPC exam and appreciate the importance of research involving these populations. Resurgence of qualitative research. Certainly, let's break down the topic of the resurgence of qualitative research, particularly focusing on influential figures like Sigmund Freud and Jean Piaget. We'll explain what qualitative research is, why it's important, and how these two theorists contributed to its development. What is qualitative research? Qualitative research is a method used in social sciences to gather non-numerical data. It's focused on understanding people's thoughts, feelings, experiences, and the meanings they attach to their experiences. In contrast to quantitative research, which relies on numbers and statistics, qualitative research emphasizes depth over breadth. Key characteristics of qualitative research. 1. Focus on context. Qualitative research looks at the context of people's lives, exploring how their experiences are shaped by their environments and backgrounds. 2. Descriptive data. Rather than using numbers, qualitative research uses language and descriptions to convey findings, often through interviews, focus groups, and observations. 3. Flexibility. Researchers can adapt their questions and methods as they learn more about the topic during the study, allowing for deeper exploration of subjects. 4. Subjective understanding. This research aims to understand how individuals perceive and make sense of their experiences, which provides nuanced insights into complex issues. The resurgence of qualitative research. In recent years, there has been a resurgence in qualitative research. This revival is largely due to its effectiveness in capturing the complexity of human experiences and the limitations of purely quantitative methods. Researchers and practitioners have recognized that numbers alone can't fully explain people's feelings, thoughts, and behaviors. Key figures in qualitative research. Sigmund Freud. Who he was. Sigmund Freud was an Austrian neurologist and the founder of psychoanalysis, a method for treating mental disorders. He emphasized the importance of unconscious thoughts and feelings. Contribution to qualitative research. Psychoanalysis. Freud emphasized understanding individuals through their thoughts, dreams, and experiences with a focus on the underlying motivations and emotions. This qualitative approach aimed to explore the depths of the human mind. Case studies. He often used detailed case studies of patients to analyze their behaviors and mental processes. His work demonstrated that understanding a person's history and personal narrative is crucial in psychology. Jean Piaget. Who he was. Jean Piaget was a Swiss psychologist known for his work in child development. He studied how children think and learn at different stages of their development. Contribution to qualitative research. Cognitive development. Piaget's qualitative research methods included observations and interviews with children to understand how they construct knowledge and develop understanding through experiences. Stage theory. He proposed that children move through different cognitive stages, and his detailed observations provided rich descriptions of how children's thinking evolves over time, which is central to qualitative research. Why is this resurgence important? 1. Complex understanding. The resurgence of qualitative research allows for a more complex understanding of human behavior. It offers insights into motivations, emotions, and social contexts that can't be captured solely through numbers. 2. Real-life relevance. Qualitative methods can address real-world issues and practical problems. By understanding people's experiences, researchers and practitioners can develop better interventions and support structures. 3. Inclusivity of voices. This research approach gives voice to participants, especially those from marginalized backgrounds. It seeks to understand their perspectives, ensuring diverse viewpoints are acknowledged. Example of qualitative research in action. Imagine researchers want to understand how students feel about online learning. They might conduct Interviews, talking to students one-on-one to gather their thoughts and feelings about the challenges and benefits of online classes. Focus groups, bringing small groups of students together to discuss their experiences, sharing and reflecting on their feelings in a group setting. Through these qualitative methods, researchers could discover various insights, such as feelings of isolation, struggles with motivation, or benefits of flexibility in learning. Such findings can be used to improve online education practices. Conclusion. The resurgence of qualitative research is crucial in understanding the complexities of human experience. Influential figures like Freud and Piaget laid the groundwork for this approach by emphasizing the importance of understanding people's thoughts, feelings, and developmental stages. By using qualitative methods, researchers can capture rich, detailed information that helps us make sense of the human experience, which is vital in fields such as psychology, education, and beyond. This understanding can improve practices, policies, and interventions, ultimately leading to better support for individuals and communities. Emphasis on qualitative procedures and research in graduate programs. Sure, let's break down the topic of the emphasis on qualitative procedures and research in graduate programs. We will look at what qualitative research is, why it's important in graduate studies, and how it benefits students and scholars. What is qualitative research? Qualitative research is a method used to study people's experiences, thoughts, and feelings in depth. Instead of focusing on numbers and statistics, like quantitative research, qualitative research gathers descriptive data through interviews, observations, and open-ended questions. Key characteristics of qualitative research. 1. Focus on meaning. This research aims to understand how people interpret their experiences and the meanings they attach to various events or situations. 2. Descriptive data. Rather than just presenting numerical data, qualitative research provides rich descriptions that help explain complex human behaviors and emotions. 3. Flexibility. Researchers can adjust their questions based on responses, allowing them to explore unexpected areas that arise during the study. 4. Contextual understanding. Qualitative research considers the context in which people live and how it influences their behavior, beliefs, and opinions. Why emphasize qualitative procedures in graduate programs? Graduate programs, especially in fields like psychology, education, sociology, and social work, increasingly emphasize qualitative research for several reasons. 1. Real-world relevance. Qualitative research offers insights that are directly relevant to real-world problems. Graduate students often seek to address complex issues, and understanding people's experiences is critical for developing effective solutions. For example, a social work student might conduct interviews to understand the challenges faced by families in crisis, which can help shape better support programs. 2. Depth of understanding. Qualitative methods allow for a deeper exploration of topics. Instead of just asking how many, researchers can ask why and how. This depth helps uncover hidden motivations and cultural factors that influence behavior. For instance, an education student might explore how students' cultural backgrounds affect their learning styles, providing a more comprehensive picture of educational needs. 3. Development of critical thinking skills. Engaging in qualitative research encourages students to think critically and creatively. It requires analyzing complex human behaviors and understanding diverse perspectives, which enhances students' analytical abilities. They learn to evaluate subjects from various angles and communicate their findings more effectively. 4. Inclusion of diverse perspectives. Qualitative research is particularly strong in giving a voice to underrepresented groups. Graduate programs focus on these methods to ensure that different viewpoints and experiences are recognized and valued. This emphasis helps create more inclusive research that can lead to social change. Examples of qualitative research in graduate programs. 1. Interviews. A graduate student studying mental health might conduct interviews with individuals living with anxiety to explore their coping strategies. The information gathered can provide valuable insights into effective therapeutic approaches. 2. Focus groups. A student in a public health program might organize focus groups with community members to discuss health education needs. The feedback can help shape more effective public health campaigns tailored to the community's specific issues. 3. Observational studies. An education graduate student might observe classroom interactions to understand how teachers engage with students of different backgrounds. This can inform teaching practices that promote inclusivity and equity in education. Conclusion. The emphasis on qualitative procedures and research in graduate programs highlights the importance of understanding human experiences, behaviors, and perspectives. By focusing on qualitative methods, students develop essential skills for analyzing complex social issues and contribute to valuable knowledge that can improve practices in various fields. Engaging with qualitative research leads to richer insights, promotes inclusivity, and prepares graduates to address real-world challenges effectively. This understanding is particularly useful for your studies and future career in fields requiring a deep understanding of human behavior. Resurgence of single-subject designs. Sure, let's talk about the resurgence of single-subject designs in research. We'll break down what these designs are, why they are important, and some examples to illustrate the concept. What are single-subject designs? Single-subject designs are research methods used to study the behavior or responses of one individual. Instead of looking at groups of people, these designs focus on understanding the effects of an intervention or treatment on a single person. This approach allows researchers to closely observe and analyze the individual's behavior over time. Key characteristics of single-subject designs. 1. Individual focus. The main focus is on one individual, allowing for a detailed understanding of how interventions influence that specific person. 2. Repeated measures. Researchers collect data repeatedly over different time periods. This helps to see how changes occur as a result of interventions. 3. Baseline measurement. Before applying any treatment, researchers typically measure the individual's behavior during a baseline phase. This provides a comparison point to see if there are any changes after the treatment is introduced. 4. Treatment phases. In a typical single-subject design, there may be different phases. Baseline phase, observing the individual without any intervention. Intervention phase, applying the treatment or intervention and observing changes in behavior. Follow-up phase, observing what happens when the treatment is withdrawn or altered. Why is there a resurgence of single-subject designs? In recent years, there has been renewed interest in single-subject designs for several reasons. 1. Personalization of treatment. Researchers recognize that individuals may respond differently to treatments. Single-subject designs allow for tailored interventions to meet the unique needs of each person, especially in fields like education and therapy. 2. Detailed data analysis. These designs provide rich, detailed data about an individual's behavior over time. By examining trends and patterns, researchers can draw meaningful conclusions about the effectiveness of interventions. 3. Ethical considerations. In some cases, it may be unethical to withhold treatment from a group when there is a known effective intervention. Studying one person allows researchers to provide immediate help while still gaining valuable research insights. 4. Applicability to various disciplines. Single-subject designs are used in diverse fields, such as psychology, education, and medicine, making them versatile tools for understanding individual behavior and responses. Examples of single-subject designs. 1. Behavioral therapy. A therapist might use a single-subject design to help a client with social anxiety. The therapist could measure the client's anxiety level in social situations before starting therapy. After introducing specific therapeutic techniques, the therapist would continue measuring anxiety levels to see if there's improvement. 2. Educational assessment. A teacher might want to determine if a new teaching strategy helps a student with learning difficulties. The teacher could first assess the student's performance on a specific task, implement the new strategy, and then continue to assess the student's performance to check for improvements after the intervention. 3. Health interventions. A researcher could study the effects of a new dietary plan on a single individual. The individual's health metrics would be measured during a baseline phase, followed by changes during the intervention, and then continued measurements to see if the effects are sustained over time. Conclusion. Single-subject designs offer researchers a powerful way to study individual behaviors and responses to interventions in great detail. The resurgence of these designs highlights their importance in providing personalized insights, ethical considerations in research, and versatility across various fields. By focusing on one person at a time, researchers can gather rich data that leads to better understanding and effective interventions tailored to individual needs. This approach is valuable not only for practitioners, but also for students studying behaviors and developing treatment plans in their future careers. Advantages: requires only one person, interest in individual change, real-world settings, easy to understand. Certainly, let's dive into the advantages of using single-subject designs, especially in research and practice. These advantages make these designs effective and useful for understanding individual behavior and change. Advantages of single-subject designs. 1. Requires only one person. What this means: single-subject designs focus on just one individual, which is denoted as N equals 1, N equals 1, N equals 1. This means you can study the effects of an intervention or treatment without needing a large group. Benefits: simple setup. It's easier and faster to set up a study when you only need one person. Cost-effective. You save money because you don't need to recruit and manage a large group, which often involves costs for materials, travel, or incentives. Example: a therapist may want to test a new technique with a single client. They can observe how the client responds over time without needing more participants. 2. Interest in individual change. What this means: single-subject designs are great for examining how specific interventions impact a person's behavior or mental state. This focus highlights individual differences and personal growth. Benefits: personalized approach. These designs are tailored to the individual, which means the treatment can be adapted based on the person's unique needs and responses. Detailed insights. Researchers can observe precise changes and understand what works or doesn't for that specific individual. Example: a teacher might want to see if a specific reading strategy helps a student improve their literacy skills. By focusing on one student, the teacher can track progress closely and adjust the approach as needed. 3. Real-world settings. What this means: single-subject designs often take place in natural environments instead of controlled labs. This means researchers observe how interventions work in the real world. Benefits: practical relevance. Findings from these studies are relevant because they reflect actual behaviors and conditions that people encounter in daily life. Institutional application. Results can be directly applied in settings like schools, homes, or clinics, making interventions more effective and relatable. Example: a researcher studying behavior modification might observe a child in their classroom to assess how different strategies influence their attention and participation during lessons. 4. Easy to understand. What this means: the results from single-subject studies are often straightforward and easy to interpret because they involve direct observation of one person's behaviors before, during, and after intervention. Benefits: clear data visualization. Researchers can present data in simple graphs demonstrating an individual's behavior changes over time, which helps to convey findings effectively. Accessible findings. These studies can be understood by those without extensive statistical knowledge, including practitioners and clients. Example: if a therapist measures a client's anxiety levels before and after introducing a new coping strategy, they can easily show the reduction in anxiety using a simple line graph, making it clear how effective the strategy was. Single-subject designs offer several important advantages, including requiring only one participant, focusing on individual change, being conducted in real-world settings, and producing easily understandable results. These strengths make single-subject designs valuable tools in fields like psychology, education, and health. By using these designs, researchers and practitioners can effectively tailor interventions to meet individual needs, assess their impact, and apply findings in meaningful and practical ways. This approach is particularly helpful for your studies and preparation for the CPC exam. Numeric ABABA single-subject design. Sure, let's break down the numeric ABABA single-subject design, focusing on its key concepts, structure, and examples. This design is a popular method in research, especially in behavioral and educational contexts. What is a numeric ABABA single-subject design? A numeric ABABA single-subject design is a specific kind of research design used to observe changes in a person's behavior over time. It involves repeated measurements, focusing on how a treatment or intervention impacts that individual. The name ABABA refers to the different phases of a study. Structure of ABABA design. The ABABA design has specific phases. 1. A phase. The first, A, stand for the baseline measurement period. Here, the researcher observes and records the individual's behavior without any intervention. This helps to understand what the behavior looks like naturally. Example: if a teacher wants to improve a student's participation in class discussions, the first A phase may involve weeks of observing the student's natural participation levels. 2. B phase. The first B stand for the intervention period. In this phase, a specific treatment or intervention is introduced to try to change the behavior observed in the A phase. Example: the teacher might implement a new strategy, like positive reinforcement, to encourage the student to participate more in discussions. 3. A phase. The second, A, is a repeat of the baseline measurement after the intervention has been introduced, but removes the intervention. This helps to see if the behavior returns to baseline levels when the treatment is no longer applied. Example: the teacher would go back to observing the student's participation without the positive reinforcement strategy to see if it drops back to the original level. 4. B phase. The final B reintroduces the intervention. This phase helps to confirm whether the changes observed in behavior were indeed due to the intervention. Example: the teacher again applies the positive reinforcement strategy and observes how the student's participation changes compared to before. Why use ABABA design? 1. Clear visualization of effects. This design allows researchers to clearly see the impact of an intervention by comparing periods when the treatment is applied and not applied. 2. Replication of results. By alternating between the treatment and baseline phases, researchers can confirm whether changes in behavior are consistent and reliable. 3. Individual focus. This design is particularly effective for studying individual behaviors because it highlights the effects of an intervention on one person, making the results more applicable to that individual. Example of numeric ABABA design. Let's consider an example involving a student named Alex who struggles with participation in class. A. For the first 3 weeks, the teacher observes Alex's participation. He raises his hand to answer questions 2 times per week on average. B. In the next 3 weeks, the teacher uses positive reinforcement when Alex participates. Alex's participation goes up to 5 times per week. A. After that, the teacher stops using positive reinforcement for another 3 weeks. Alex's participation drops back down to 2 times per week. B. Finally, the teacher resumes the positive reinforcement. Alex's participation increases again, now averaging 4 times per week. Visual representation. If you were to graph this data, you would have the y-axis representing participation, the x-axis representing the weeks. Points plotted for participation during each phase, showing peaks during the B phases and drops during the A phases. Conclusion. The numeric ABABA single-subject design is a powerful method for studying how specific interventions affect behavior over time. By alternating between baseline and intervention phases, researchers can clearly see the effects of their treatment. This method is particularly valuable in educational and psychological settings, allowing for tailored approaches that suit individual needs. Understanding this design will be helpful for your CPC exam preparation and any future research you may encounter. Ideographic versus nomothetic research. Sure, let's explore the concepts of ideographic and nomothetic research. These two approaches help researchers study human behavior and experiences in different ways. We'll break them down, compare them, and provide examples to clarify each concept. What is ideographic research? Ideographic research focuses on understanding individual cases in detail. The goal is to explore the unique characteristics, experiences, and behaviors of a single person or a small group. This approach is often used in fields like psychology, counseling, and social work, where understanding individual differences is crucial. Key characteristics of ideographic research. 1. Individual focus. It concentrates on one person or a small number of people, emphasizing their unique experiences and perspectives. 2. Qualitative data. Ideographic research often uses qualitative methods, such as interviews, case studies, or personal observations, to gather in-depth information. 3. Detailed insights. It seeks to gain a comprehensive understanding of the individual situation, thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Researchers aim to capture the richness of the individual's experience. Example of ideographic research. Imagine a psychologist working with a client who has anxiety. The psychologist conducts in-depth interviews to explore the client's unique background, triggers for anxiety, and coping strategies. By focusing solely on this individual, the psychologist gains detailed insights that help tailor treatment to the client's specific needs. What is nomothetic research? Nomothetic research, on the other hand, aims to develop general principles or laws that apply to large groups of people. This approach often looks for patterns and commonalities across many individuals rather than focusing on individual differences. Nomothetic research is commonly used in fields like sociology, epidemiology, and market research. Key characteristics of nomothetic research. 1. Group focus. It studies larger populations to identify trends, behaviors, and relationships that can be generalized. 2. Quantitative data. Nomothetic research typically relies on quantitative methods, such as surveys, experiments, or statistical analysis, to gather numerical data that can be analyzed. 3. Generalization. The goal is to establish findings that can be applied broadly, helping to understand large-scale human behavior and making predictions across different contexts. Example of nomothetic research. Consider a researcher studying the effects of a new teaching method on student performance across several schools. The researcher collects test scores from hundreds of students and analyzes the data to see if the teaching method leads to higher average scores. The findings help identify whether the teaching method is effective on a larger scale. Comparing ideographic and nomothetic research. Conclusion. Both ideographic and nomothetic research approaches have their strengths and serve different purposes. Ideographic research provides deep insights into individual experiences, which is valuable in fields that require personalized understanding, such as counseling. Nomothetic research generates broader insights that can influence policies, practices, and theories by identifying trends and patterns across larger groups. Understanding the differences between these two approaches is essential for effective research and practice in psychology and other fields, providing a comprehensive view of human behavior and experiences. This distinction will be beneficial for your preparation for the CPC exam. Need for more training in APA publication guidelines? Certainly, let's dive into the topic of the need for more training in APA publication guidelines. Understanding these guidelines is crucial for anyone involved in writing and publishing research in fields like psychology, education, and social sciences. We'll explore what APA guidelines are, why they are important, and how better training can help. What are APA publication guidelines? APA stands for the American Psychological Association, which is an organization that sets standards for writing and publishing in psychology and many related fields. The APA Publication Manual provides rules on how to format research papers, cite sources, and present findings clearly and consistently. Key components of APA guidelines. 1. Formatting. Guidelines on how to format your documents, including margins, font sizes, line spacing, and title pages. 2. Citations and references. How to properly cite sources within a text, and how to create a reference list at the end of your paper. This includes different formats for books, journal articles, websites, and more. 3. Writing style. Tips on writing clearly and concisely, using appropriate language, and making sure your writing is unbiased and inclusive. 4. Clarity and structure. Guidance on how to organize your paper, including sections like the abstract, introduction, methods, results, discussion, and conclusion. Why is training in APA guidelines important? 1. Consistency in research. Following APA guidelines helps ensure that research is presented in a consistent manner. This is important so that readers can easily follow and understand the findings. Consistency in style and formatting makes academic writing more professional and credible. 2. Credibility and integrity. Properly citing sources is crucial to give credit to original authors and avoid plagiarism. By adhering to APA guidelines, researchers uphold academic integrity and demonstrate respect for the work of others. 3. Improve communication. Clear and organized writing helps communicate research findings more effectively. This clarity is essential for readers who may be educators, practitioners, or fellow researchers. Good communication ensures that the significance of the research is understood. 4. Increased publication chances. Many academic journals require adherence to APA guidelines when submitting articles. Understanding these guidelines increases the chances of successful publication, as editors and reviewers expect submissions to meet specific standards. 5. Professional development. For students and early career researchers, mastering APA guidelines is part of their professional development. It prepares them for future writing tasks, whether they continue in academia or move into applied fields. The need for more training. While many students and new researchers learn about APA guidelines in their courses, there are a few reasons why additional training is beneficial. 1. Complexity of guidelines. Some aspects of APA formatting can be complex, especially with the frequent updates to the manual. More training can help individuals stay current with the latest changes and interpretations of the guidelines. 2. Diverse instructions. Different types of sources have varying citation rules. Training can help learners better understand how to apply these rules correctly in different situations. 3. Practical application. Many students may not have enough hands-on practice using APA guidelines during their studies. Workshops or tutorials that focus on real-world application can reinforce learning and help build confidence in writing and citing correctly. 4. Feedback and support. Training sessions can provide opportunities for feedback from instructors or peers, allowing individuals to refine their skills and clarify their understanding of the guidelines. Example of the importance of training. Imagine a graduate student named Sarah who is preparing to submit her first research paper. She knows the basics of APA guidelines, but struggles with citing some online sources and formatting her reference list. If Sarah received more training, she would learn exactly how to format citations for different types of materials and how to ensure her paper is organized according to APA standards. This training would help her avoid potential pitfalls, such as incorrectly citing a source, which could lead to accusations of plagiarism or rejection from the journal she aims to publish in. Conclusion. Training in APA publication guidelines is essential for researchers, students, and professionals in the social sciences. It ensures consistency, promotes academic integrity, enhances communication, and increases chances of publication success. Given the complexity of these guidelines and the importance of clear communication and research, more training opportunities can greatly benefit those involved in academic writing. This knowledge will be valuable for your success in the CPC exam and your future academic and professional endeavors. Kurt Lewin's action research concept. Absolutely. Let's explore Kurt Lewin's action research concept. This concept is important in fields like psychology, social work, education, and organizational development. We'll break down what action research is, its key principles, and how it involves improving situations with the help of local people or clients. Who is Kurt Lewin? Kurt Lewin was a psychologist known for his work in social psychology and organizational development. He is often called the father of social psychology. Lewin developed the concept of action research to help people solve problems effectively while involving them in the process. What is action research? Action research is a method used to improve conditions or situations while actively involving the people affected by those situations. It's a practical approach to problem solving that combines various research and action steps. Key characteristics of action research. 1. Focus on improvement. The main goal of action research is to improve a specific situation or solve a particular problem. This might involve addressing issues in schools, communities, organizations, or social services. 2. Participation of local people. Action research emphasizes collaboration with the people who are directly affected by the problem or change. This means that those involved are active participants in the research and decision-making process. 3. Dynamic process. Action research is iterative, meaning it involves cycles of planning, acting, observing, and reflecting. Researchers or practitioners try out an intervention, observe the results, reflect on what happened, and then adjust their approach as needed. Steps in Kurt Lewin's action research model. Kurt Lewin outlined a simple process for action research, often referred to as the action research cycle. It typically includes the following steps. 1. Identify the problem. Recognize and define the issue or situation that needs improvement. This might come from the community or the organization. 2. Plan action. Develop a plan to address the problem. Collaborate with local people to understand their needs and get their input on potential solutions. 3. Take action. Implement the plan action or intervention. This is where changes are put into practice. 4. Observe results. Monitor and evaluate the outcomes of the action taken. Gather data and feedback to see how well the solution worked. 5. Reflect and revise. Reflect on the results and the process. Discuss what worked, what didn't, and why. Based on these reflections, make necessary adjustments and improvements. Importance of local people clients in action research. 1. Empowerment. By involving local people in the research process, they become empowered participants rather than passive subjects. This involvement can lead to a sense of ownership over the solutions being implemented. 2. Relevance. Clients and community members have unique insights into their situations, which can help researchers develop solutions that are relevant and practical for their specific needs. 3. Sustainability. Solutions created with the involvement of local people are more likely to be accepted and sustained over time. When communities are part of the process, they're more likely to support and maintain the changes made. Example of action research in practice. Imagine a local school facing problems with student engagement and academic performance. Here's how action research might unfold. 1. Identify the problem. Teachers notice that many students are not participating in class or completing assignments. 2. Plan action. The school forms a committee of teachers, students, and parents to discuss possible solutions. They might decide to introduce new teaching methods, such as project-based learning, to make lessons more engaging. 3. Take action. The school implements the new teaching methods in a few classrooms. 4. Observe results. Over several weeks, teachers observe student behavior and gather feedback from students and parents on how the new methods are working. 5. Reflect and revise. After evaluating the outcomes, the committee meets to discuss what worked well and what didn't. They might find that some students thrive in group projects while others still struggle, leading them to adjust their approach accordingly. Conclusion. Kurt Lewin's action research concept is an effective way to improve situations by actively involving local people or clients. This collaborative process not only helps address specific problems, but also empowers individuals and fosters a sense of community ownership over solutions. Understanding this approach is valuable for those in fields like education, psychology, and social work, and it prepares you to tackle challenges effectively in your future career while also contributing positively to the communities you serve. Use of the internet for experiments. Certainly, let's explore the use of the internet for experiments, focusing on how it enables quick data collection, lowers costs, and allows for large sample sizes. These are important aspects for researchers in psychology, social sciences, and various other fields. What does it mean to use the internet for experiments? Using the internet for experiments means conducting research studies and collecting data online. Researchers can create surveys, conduct experiments, or gather information through various digital platforms, making it much easier to reach participants. Key advantages of using the internet for experiments. 1. Quick data collection. What this means, researchers can gather data rapidly using online tools and platforms. They can set up surveys or experiments that people can participate in right away, rather than waiting for people to physically visit a lab or research site. Benefits. Immediate responses. Participants can complete surveys or tasks at their convenience, leading to faster data collection. Real-time monitoring. Researchers can monitor responses as they come in, allowing them to adjust their study if necessary. Example, a researcher studying social media habits might create an online survey. Within just a few hours, They could receive hundreds of responses from people all over the world. 2. Lower costs. What this means, conducting research online often costs less than traditional research methods. There are fewer expenses related to transportation, paper materials, and physical locations. Benefits. Affordable tools. Many online survey tools and platforms are free or low cost, making it easier for researchers with limited budgets to access resources. Reduced travel costs. Researchers don't need to travel to meet participants, which saves money on transportation and time. Example: instead of renting a space to conduct interviews, a psychologist can use video conferencing or online survey tools to interview participants from home, significantly reducing costs. 3. Large sample sizes. What this means, the internet allows researchers to easily reach a vast number of participants, which is essential for achieving statistical significance in research findings. Benefits. Diverse populations. Researchers can connect with people from different geographical areas, backgrounds, and demographics, leading to a more diverse sample. Increased generalizability. Larger sample sizes improve the reliability of results and make it easier to generalize findings to the broader population. Example: a researcher studying attitudes toward climate change could share their online survey on social media or through email lists, reaching thousands or even millions of potential respondents quickly. Considerations and challenges. While the internet offers many advantages for data collection, there are challenges as well. 1. Quality of data. With easy access, researchers might attract participants who rush through surveys or provide unreliable responses. Ensuring that participants take the study seriously is important. 2. Sampling bias. Not everyone has equal access to the